Certain games in my life have the special ability to draw me in and hook me for hours upon end, until I look at my clock and I've seen that I've been playing for 6 hours. These games allow me to recreate reality, to pour all my effort into a virtual world and just lose all track of realistic time. And among them is a simple, charming farming game made by one guy. So hello everyone, my name is Shmenty, and this is my tribute to Stardew Valley. Before this video starts, I just want to say that we've seen a lot of growth recently, and hopefully it keeps snowballing into the future. Thank you so much for all the support so far, and here's to the future. What is Stardew Valley? Well, the simple answer is that it's a farming RPG set in a place called Stardew Valley. The complex answer is, well, pretty long. So how did one man create a game that's in the top 10 highest reviewed games on Steam? Let's dive right in. Eric ConcernedApe Barone graduated from college in 2011 with a computer science degree, but he couldn't find a job in the field and he needed to improve. So in doing that, he wanted to also improve his artistic skills, and so he began work on a small game that would hit both birds with one stone. One of his favorite game series was Harvest Moon, a game like Animal Crossing but focusing more on the farming elements. He thought the series kept getting worse and worse over time, so as a fan, he began to work on an alternative that he called Stardew Valley. Barone focused on the positives of game development. He wasn't a toxic, large AAA company that didn't really care about the quality of the games as long as they got money. No, everything about him was good. He refused to put the game in Steam Early Access because he'd seen so many games just drop onto it that are completely unfinished, and, well, not naming any names, aren't that good. He wanted a finished project, and by God did he deliver. The game came out in 2016 and was nominated for Best Indie Game, PC Game of the Year, and it actually won the Breakthrough Award at the Golden Joystick Awards that year. It's hard for developers to win gamers' trusts, but Barone did that. Reading through some of the comments on Steam, you'll notice that some of the people actually initially pirated the game, but it was so good that they bought it on Steam just to support him. The same thing could be said about the soundtrack. People are spending like $4 just to support this guy. In just 2 months, the game had generated a staggering $1 million revenue, and today in 2020, the game has generated well over $10 million. But how is the gameplay worthy of this much praise, this much glory? Let's dive right in. I, like a lot of kids, grew up on games like Animal Crossing on the DS and the Wii. I love the game, but there wasn't enough there for me. I needed a thing to focus on, a core aspect to adore. Then this game dropped onto Steam, and the graphics alone nearly bought the game for me. They're these beautiful sprites that bring me back to the days of 16-bit platformers and retro music, while simultaneously being an art form in games today. The game focuses on the core aspect of farming. You start stuck in this 9-to-5 that you would probably be working for the rest of your life, until your grandpa dies and leaves his small farm in Stardew Valley to you. You quit your job and move there with nothing to your name but an old ramshackle house. Then, you begin fixing it up. You meet the citizens of the town. Life there is good. Life there is simple. You can do anything you want. You want to live off fishing? Do it. You want to live off mining? Do it. You want to be what the core aspect of the game is and live off farming? You can do that too. Life is what you make of it here, and I think that's beautiful. There's technically a story to Stardew Valley, but you are by no means rushed to finish it. There's this community center that's gone into disrepair and needs to be fixed up. Inside, there's these bundles that both fix the center and give you certain advantages, such as fixing up a minecart system or repairing a bus to get to a different location. They take certain quality items, crops, fish, etc., to finish all of them. It takes people a few in-game years, typically, to complete it. But what I think stands out to most people are the NPCs. They're beautifully done. They each have strikingly different personalities, whether you like the artistic talents of Leah or pure depression of Shane. Most of the NPCs are able to date you and even marry you, and also divorce you, and have kids with you, and sell your kids to a grand wizard that flies them away. Anyways, it's a family there. A community that many people don't have in the real world, and they feel like they need a supplement for. And that's what this game gives. The game resembles more than just a video game. This game is Eric Barone's script to a happy life. His name is more than just a little gamer tag. It can be broken down. Barone believes we came from apes, hence the ape in the second part, but he's concerned that our lives are straying from what they're meant to be. So that's the first part, concern. Stardew Valley is his response to this. It's his response to the traditional track of life, of going to college and working a 9 to 5 until you're 50. Some people agree wholeheartedly, and one man even loved the game so much that he bought a farm in the Northwest. Magic encapsulates the game, both literally and metaphorically. There's a wizard and many supernatural creatures you'll meet, but the true magic is with the community that you fall in love with. That, also, is both in-game and out-of-game. The community of Stardew Valley is all about the same as the community of Harvest Moon, of Animal Crossing. It's a bunch of people that really adore the script and the writing and the gameplay of these types of games. With the changing seasons, there's a living, breathing world that keeps you immersed, and it's really hard to dislike. The game is in my top few games to relax with. There's absolutely no stress, just simple farming and gradually building your income up until you can make some frivolous purchases. There's enough content to keep you hooked for hours upon end, and it's insanely satisfying to create a farm that you planned out 20 years ago. The nostalgia I have for this game is pretty unique compared to the other games from around 2016. It's definitely not for everyone, and people who play a lot of competitive shooters only might not enjoy the game much, but for a guy like me that plays pretty much every single genre of games, it's a nice step into a relaxing world that you don't have to have any worries in. If life has you down, go and give gifts to the townsfolk and build relationships. It's not a perfect game, but it's pretty damn close. I think one of the biggest draws is that you can't fail. Sure, crops may die and fish may get away, but you can always bounce back. The game is a relaxing alternative to life, and one I wholeheartedly love and enjoy. I've always enjoyed the idea of a simple life. My grandparents live in a pretty rural part of America, and it's always appealed to me. Just seeing these lives that are so marked by community and family and friendship, it really speaks to me. Back around 2012, I started playing games like Minecraft and Roblox, and I always wished that the farming aspect of Minecraft could be expanded on. I didn't know how to install mods at the time, so for a few years I had a lack. I had a gap in my heart, where I really wanted to try to grow crops and build a living that way. Then this game came out. I fell in love with the gameplay, with the soundtrack, with the nostalgia of 16-bit and 8-bit games that I used to play. It brought me back to a simple time. It brought me back to a place I've never experienced, a town that doesn't even exist, but in my mind it didn't matter. Although the soundtrack is copyrighted, so I couldn't really use it in this video, I highly encourage you to go check it out. It's art. It is a beautiful, beautiful tribute to the old retro-style music of the games we used to play as kids. This game is one of my favorites on Steam, and definitely one of the best purchases I've ever made. It's an indie game, it's not a AAA game. The updates aren't that often, but when they do come out, they're almost perfect. For example, one of the most recent updates, multiplayer, came out, and it's done really well. I was able to create a farm with my sister, and we just played for hours upon end. The farming in this game is just something satisfying. And I know this video will never speak to the whole truth of how good this game is. All I can say is, the reviews don't lie. The fact that it's in the top 10 games that are highest reviewed on Steam, that's not a lie. It's not just some mistake of a game that came out and is decent. It is a really, really well done game, and I highly recommend you go check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video. This channel's seen explosive growth recently and a ton of new subscribers, but just make sure that you're subscribed, because a vast majority of my viewers actually aren't. It only takes a few seconds and it helps me out immensely. I absolutely love making these videos and I love making content for you guys, so please make sure to let me know in the comments below if there's anything you'd want to tribute to in the future, and I'll make sure that it happens. Thank you guys again so much for watching. This has been Shmenty, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.